millions of words and rhymes a life could write to fit. And for the man who came off best from the bullet he bit, for many years of joy and tears, fortune, fame and luck, if you ever gain contentment reading books through towns, tides and countrysides, you'll always find time for his love of reading. 13 years he went to sea to find his fortune there, with dreams he would work his way to the captain's chair. And so he sailed the world until from sea he did repair, 'cause he lost a friend and many of his interests there. Through towns, tides and countryside, he'd always find time for his love of reading. To lay his dancing down and start selling books from a shop in Sheffield town. A wife he found and settled down, children for to raise, and there remained content for all his days. Through towns, tides and countrysides, he always find time for his love of reading. Now his life is carved in words on stone, his dying wish to make it known, in the hope that folk would come and read this old bookseller story. It's a song that's on our most recent album. It basically came about because I was, well, I don't know if you know this, but I'm a Yorkshireman, and I thought it'd be quite a good idea to learn some Yorkshire songs, so I sort of started looking around to try and find some, and I came across a book that somebody had scanned into the internet. The book was called Yorkshire Songs and Epitaphs, and
which I thought, great, yeah, full of Yorkshire songs. So I started having a look through and I came across an epitaph, which was about 12 lines long, written in rhyme, and I just thought it was really nice the way it was written, and it managed to include a lot of sort of details about this chap's life. It was a chap who lived in the 1700s called Richard Smith, I think he was. It was buried in Sheffield somewhere. So yeah, I just used what was there in these 12 lines and just sort of took a bit of
artistic license.
Yeah, and sort of filled in a few of the gaps and added a few more details to it, and just use that.
And actually, it almost didn't make it onto the album because the day that we were due to start recording in our recording schedule, we had this song on a particular day, and I've been saying to Jamie for about 5 days, did you finish the words to that first verse yet? Well, no, not quite yet. No. And he managed to finish them on the morning of the day that we were starting to record it. So it was
so annoying because I got the whole thing written apart from the first 2 lines of the song, which took me ages. But anyway.
Do you find that there are particular things that come very easily, and some particular things that...
Sometimes, yeah. I mean, once you've got a theme, it's easy to think like, oh yeah, I've got a great theme, but it's getting the ball rolling with it, because you don't want to be too obvious with it, I don't think. So it's sometimes with other things it seems to just sort of flow really easily. I know you seem to be able to do them quite quickly. Really,
well, it depends. If you've got a story that you're writing and you already know, or you've already decided what the story is going to be, I think story songs are probably easier to write because you're basically having to pick what facts you put in, and you've probably got too many and you probably have to miss a few out or sort of play them in really subtly in a very small, quick way. So I think story songs are a little bit easier.
I guess it's easier to plan out as well, because you know what the story is, so you can say like first verse this is going to happen.
Work out how many verses
this in the second verse, whatever. Whereas if it's a song sort of based on just a particular subject or scenario or something, then you have to sort of be more creative with different angles of looking at things, I guess.
One of the most exciting experiences I think it's actually possible for a musician to have, which was a 5-week tour supporting Fairport Convention, which was just, can't even describe it really. It was such an incredible experience, really great. We had a really good time, and we met a lot of new people, and yeah, it was just a real good exposure. And because we had our own tour coming up, we got 10,000 flyers printed, and we just dished them out all over the place.
So I mean, it was like an opportunity really, because we were playing to much bigger audiences than we used to, and the vast majority of them had never heard of us or seen us before, so it was like an opportunity for us to try and win over their audience.
How did you get on the tour?
Well, I used to play in a band called Tiny Tin Lady, who did the same sort of winter tour support slot that we've just done, but in 2007. And then I just pestered Fairport and at every opportunity until they said, "Oh, okay, yeah, you can come on the tour again." So that was pretty much the long and short of it.
And you've played properly before, haven't you?
I have, yeah. That was 2007 as well. That was with the band Kerfuffle that I used, which I played with up until we sort of disbanded just this last year. And that was quite scary really, because I'd only just sort of joined the band. I've been playing with the band for maybe three months or something. That was only about the 5th or 6th gig that I'd ever done with them. And so it was going from playing to 25, 30 people in an open mic night in a pub to playing to like 15,000 people on the stage at Cropredy. So
it's quite a jump.
Yeah.
And you're both playing again this year, aren't you?
That's right.
That's right. Yeah, really excited about that. It'll be
a bit more relaxed now.
Oh well, Jamie is an old hand, obviously, now, but I'll be shaking like a leaf.
But it'll definitely be the biggest gig we've ever done, I think, playing Cropredy this year.
Yeah.
And did you pick up any tips from Fairport, having toured with them?
Mandolin tips.
Oh,
Chris Leslie.
Definitely mandolin tips. Yeah, Chris Leslie's a bit of a lot of the whiz on the mandolin, and we we had some really good bluegrass jam sessions while we were on that tour.
It sort of became a nightly thing.
Yeah, the 6:30 Bluegrass Club.
Yeah, it was come round to our dressing room and have a little bluegrass tune. It was good.
It was good fun.
They've got quite an interesting way of ending the support act and beginning their set, haven't they?
That's right, yeah, it's a bit of a slick showbiz transition because we do probably 25 minutes worth of material, and then the band come on for our last song and they play along with us. So technically they were our backing band for 31 dates, which is not a bad position to be in for us. Yeah, we had a good time.
Did they have to learn one of your songs?
They did, yeah, and we chose the first track of our first album, which is a song called Hunter Man. I've seen the man who stands in the shadow in the half-light. He stands alone, holds a rifle on his shoulder like a soldier might. He never loses the wind and the leaves make his shadow fall. Look away and look back, I'm not sure he was there at all.
It was a good opportunity to sort of, because on the album we put drums on it on the album, and it's got bass and stuff, which obviously we can't do just the two of us live, so it's a good opportunity for us to do it as it is on the album, so it was great, it worked really well.
Quite something.
It was quite something, every night.
Don Howe plays percussion on both your CDs.
That's
Yes.
right, yeah.
You have an interesting way of playing it live without a percussionist.
I have it in open tuning, which means I can basically just play a chord just by strumming it, which frees my hand up for doing other things, so I just sort of use a sort of ball of my hand, I get a really sort of kick drum sound out of it, and use that as a sort of snare sound, and various other little things. And it's just good for filling the sound out, really. It's one of those things where we haven't got a drummer or a percussionist, but I can sort of imply what a drummer would be doing had he been there, and it's just good for adding a bit more sort of light and shade to it. So if we want to make a chorus bigger, I can add something into it and then take it out again for the verses. So it's handy for that.
And it's certainly a very visual thing, and one of the things that I really like about sharing a stage with Jamie is that, you know, if we're playing a new place that we've never played before, quite often we'll start the set and you'll see people at the back of the room start craning their necks like a bunch of meerkats at the back, and then a few people start to stand up and just try and see over the top of everyone else what he's actually doing. So yeah, it's quite interesting.